What's up, guys? A while ago, I realized I made a video about, like a super in-depth video about my clear acrylic base, which is right there. And since it's been a while, I figured let's do some of the other ones. So next on the list would be my blue acrylic base. And here I'll do a better video. It actually is blue, as you can see, and sometimes it's hard to tell that, but it is clear, so you can definitely tell from the back. So the in-depth story, or kind of specs of this is actually going to be pretty easy to talk about, because this base was made as an exact copy of the clear acrylic back when I was playing in live bands and doing shows a lot. You need a backup just in case you break a string, battery dies, or some crazy thing happens. You never know. It's always good to have backup. So my clear acrylic is obviously my main, but this one is pretty much an exact copy of it, or as close as I can get to it. There are some differences I'll talk about. Yeah, so anyway, we could start at the bridge here. Obviously, Kaler, Trem, Bridge, they are the best. I put a little stopper in here actually so you can turn it into a hardtail. I have it on my clear acrylic as well. So it's really nice for drop tunes or anything really. Let's see, MEC in the bridge, EMG JX in the neck. They are active pickups and they are running on a 24-volt mod. Let's see here. Same layout. Single volume controls both pickups. Kill switch and an afterburner 220 by EMG. If you want to know more about that kind of stuff, that was all in the clear acrylic video. You can go look at that one. I won't bore you again, because this, again, like I said, is the same base basically. They're even the same weight. Both of these bases actually weigh about just over 9 pounds, which is actually not that bad for a base. I tried to put together a backup before I got this one. Let's see. Oh man, this is about 4 years ago. Started putting this together, so at least all the parts came in. But the other acrylic that I made and put together weighed almost 15 pounds. I think it was 14 and a half. And that's obviously, you can't do that. That's, no, you can't do that. So, we went with this one and I got lucky. So, both of them are exactly the same weight, same body shape, everything. So, from there, the fretboard is, and the neck and fretboard is maple and rosewood. I covered the fretboard with, let's see, the black tape is nylon tape, and then the gold is mylar tape. Just all aesthetic, make it look real nice. These strings are Optima gold strings, 40 to 100 in standard tuning, and this is, because it's a backup, these strings are really expensive, way more expensive than I thought I'd ever spend on strings, but these strings do not get changed unless they are dead. And I've had these on here for about 2 years now, and they still sound great and brand new. They look amazing, but I mean, that's actually the most important part. But no, really great strings. I've got a backup pair just in case, but these aren't getting changed unless you really unless I break a string, which hopefully I don't. All right, headstock. Basically the same as the other one. The only difference is the colors. Gold pick guard to cover up the head stock. It used to, this is a Grand. is the name of this brand. I believe I bought this bass on eBay about 4 years ago, and I think I got it for like 200 bucks. It came with just the body and the neck. I'm not even sure if it had electronics in it, but also Graphtec self-lubricating nut, and all my basses have the groove gear fret wrap. It's just great, and Spurzol locking tuners. So that is basically a quick rundown of this. The more in-depth version is maybe on the clear acrylic, as I've said before. But let's see, other than that, there's some pretty, the only real differences of this bass is the strings obviously are different color, and the neck is a little thicker, a little more chunky. It's actually got a pretty cool flame to it, if you can see. That's nice. It's a little thicker than the clear acrylic, but this thing just has a killer clean tone. It just booms. It just sounds so good for cleans. Let's see. It sucks because this bass is a little bit neglected, unfortunately, because it is a backup bass. I've wanted to do a lot to it. I've thought about putting it in B standard for low tuning stuff. I thought about maybe putting it in like a tenor bass tuning, which is the for higher strings on a 6-string bass. So it would be like A, D, G, C. Just, so, you know, be like, oh, it's to play more, but really I think it just works best as a backup and just as a, you know, something to, just feels a little different, you know. But it's a great bass, sounds awesome. I love it. A few cool stories about it. The coolest story is probably the fact that this bass is signed by Ron Jarzambek of Blotted Science fame, as well as Watchtower and some stuff like that. For you guys that don't know, Ron doesn't really tour, not anymore, at least hasn't in a long time. So he's always been a huge influence on me, and I've always wanted him to sign a bass or something for me. But, you know, he lives in Texas, so how's that going to happen? Well, one day I just randomly decided, hey, I'm just going to email him and ask him if I can send him a neck. So I emailed him and said, hey, I'm a big fan, and just want to know if I could send you, like mail you a neck, and if you could sign it, I'll pay for shipping, return, all that. And he said, yeah. So, long story short, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? You never know. It's pretty cool. And then a more sombering story, unfortunately, is when I had this bass first put together and we put everything in it, I wanted it to get a professional setup. So I took it to my local guitar center, which I've always had good experience with. I met a lot of good friends there. The guys that helped me put both of these basses together and done a lot of the work on them, I met through there. And so I brought it there. It was somebody that I had never met and did not know. I explained to him, hey, you know, I know this is a weird kind of quirky thing, but if you'd have any questions, please let me know. I know, because especially like the bridge is weird, it's different. Not a lot of people work on them. So if you have any questions, I can definitely help. And he was like, I got it, don't worry. Well, I got the bass back set up, and it was just terrible. Terrible. Let's see, all the things that happened. These saddles here on the bridge, you can do custom string spacing so they can move left and right. Well, he did not tighten them back down, so they were just sliding back and forth. as well as for intonation. There's a set screw here where it goes back and forth like this. Yeah, he didn't do that either, so like intonation was just constantly moving and going out. But, you know, the action was shit because it just wasn't set up right, going up and down. And the worst part was, if you look at the back of this bass, 4 screws. The way the neck is designed, if you could see, there's like a scoop right here, which means that these 2 screws naturally would be shorter, and these would be longer. Well, I don't know what he was thinking or what happened, but he decided to take one of these long screws and throw it into this, which caused a hole. Let's see if we can get that on camera. It has recently been filled, but it is right there. So, and I didn't even notice it until I got home and realized, wow, there's a screw sticking out of there. And yeah, I was livid. I was super pissed. But everything has been worked out. That was 3 or 4 years ago. It took a while. Once I got the parts for this, it actually took a while to get it all together into playing condition. But yeah, so it's all water under the bridge now. I mean, this thing still plays great and it sounds good. It's just a less exciting story to have that kind of happen to you. Yeah. Other than that, though, that's really it for the old blue bass. I had this back cover made at a previous job I worked at, and yeah, just really was put together specifically as a backup for when I was playing live shows a whole lot, which I don't really do a whole lot anymore, not at this time at least. And yeah, I just wish I'd played it a little more, but it is always nice to kind of just grab it and thump around on it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.